What's up everybody, I'm Logan from Sleepopolis.com and today I'll be reviewing the Nolah Original Mattress. I'll go over the firmness of the bed, what it's made of, run some tests, compare it against the Nectar and Nolah Signature mattresses, and finally give my pros and cons. But to start, I want to talk about what the Nolah Original feels like. Now, in my opinion, the Nolah is definitely on the softer side. If you can tell, I'm definitely sinking into the mattress just as I'm sitting here. If I was to give it a score out of 10, I'd say it's about a 5 out of 10. Usually I say a medium firmness is about a 6.5. So this is definitely gonna give you more of that plush feel. You're gonna sink in for some pressure relief. Now, when I lie down on my back, I can already feel myself sink into the mattress. Got a little bit of contouring feeling around the body. We'll talk about the materials a little later on in the review, but they do use a memory foam alternative, so you do get a little bit of that kind of contouring feeling around the body. But something that's nice with this alternative is that it reacts a little bit quicker to pressure, so you're not going to get that same stuck. So even though you do kind of sink in a little bit, you're able to change positions a little easier than on a traditional memory foam mattress. As I roll onto my side, this is where the Nolah Original really shines. Side sleepers tend to prefer softer mattresses because they often have issues with pressure points forming at the shoulders, the hips. They feel a little jammed up on firmer mattresses. I was really comfortable when I was side sleeping here on the Nolah Original. I was able to sink in. It's a really soft feel, so I didn't feel any of those hot spots forming in any of those trouble areas. I really do recommend the Nolah for the side sleepers out there. Now, the opposite of that is when I rolled onto my stomach, I could feel my hips sink into the mattress quite a bit. Generally, if you're a stomach sleeper, you're going to want to find a firmer mattress, strong support for the hips. I just wasn't getting that here on the Nolah, so if you are a back sleeper, side sleeper, combo sleeper, something like that, I think that's looking for a softer feel. I think the Nolah is going to be a good choice. If you are a stomach sleeper, I think you're going to want to find something with a bit firmer support. Now, to give you a better idea of what the Nolah Original is all about, I've peeled back the cover so you can better look at the materials used and the layers of the mattress. First up, the cover is a combination of polyester and viscose. It's got a very smooth, breathable feel to it. Underneath the cover is the comfort layer of the mattress. It's a memory foam alternative called Nolah AirFoam. You can see it does have a little bit of a slow response to pressure, but it's a bit quicker than a traditional memory foam, so you will get a little bit of that contouring feeling around your body, but you're going to be able to change positions a little bit easier. Also, it is pretty breathable compared to memory foam, so I think it does a really good job of helping the original sleep a bit cooler than a traditional memory foam mattress. Now, below that, we have a quick layer. You can kind of see it here of a transition layer. It's a poly foam, so it's got a quicker response to pressure, and what that's going to do is it's going to transition you from the really soft feel of the comfort layer up here into the high density polyfoam base. You can see that's really firm. It's going to act as the support layer of the mattress, supporting the layers of foam on top as well as the sleeper on top of the mattress. Now, instead of just taking my word on what the Nolah Original feels like, I like to run a few tests on every mattress that I review so you can get a more objective look at what these beds are all about. So first up is the pressure mat portion of the review, and basically I put a pressure mat down on top of the mattress, lie down in a few positions, and you'll see the results next to me ranging from blue for low pressure to red for high pressure. Now, lying down on my back, my weight's evenly distributed. It's blue across the board, low pressure. That's what I was expecting to see. I just like to test it to make sure there's nothing that stands out. But the Nolah stands up to what I was hoping to see here on this test. Now, the interesting thing comes to when I roll onto my side. And like I mentioned before, the Nolah is a really soft mattress, so it is going to be a little bit better for the side sleepers out there. And I was really happy with the results on the pressure mat portion here. You can see there's no higher pressure at the hips. There is a little bit higher pressure going into that green range at the shoulders. That's to be expected. I would say that that kind of darker green range that we're seeing here is actually within the kind of acceptable limits. You really have to be more nervous when it gets into that lighter green or yellow or red sections on this portion of the review, but you can see that it's blue or dark green here across the board, so I was really happy with the pressure mat portion for the side sleepers out there. And then rolling onto my stomach, again, my weight's evenly distributed, so you're going to get blue, low pressure across the board. However, I don't think that tells the whole story. I did feel my hips sink in. There's a little bit of bow in my back when I was lying on my stomach on the Nolah. Like I said before, I think it's just too soft for these stomach sleepers out there. Now, another test that I like to run is a bounce test. Basically, it's to check to see how much mobility you're going to have on the mattress. If you're someone who changes positions throughout the middle of the night, you want to be able to adjust without feeling stuck or trapped in the layers of foam in the mattress. You want to know how much bounce the mattress is going to have. The Nolah is a softer mattress with a memory foam alternative. alternative. So there's really not a ton of bounce to the mattress. I do think there's a bit more mobility than traditional memory foam mattresses or anything like that. So you're not going to feel too stuck, but there's really not a high level of bounce. If you're looking for something to feel more on top of the mattress, you might want to look more at like a latex mattress, something like that, or a hybrid or inner spring with traditional springs for support. Now, the final test that I like to take a look at is a motion transfer portion of the review. Basically, this is to test if you share your bed with a partner who tends to be a little bit of a restless sleeper, is all that motion going to wake you up during the middle of the night? So to test that, I put a seismometer down on the mattress where you might be sleeping, and that's going to test to see how much motion or disturbance is transferred across the bed with that restless partner rolling around during the middle of the night. And drop a 10-pound steel ball from heights of 4, 8, and 12 inches to kind of simulate that motion and test and check to see how much disturbance is transferred with each drop. And I was really, really impressed with the ability of the Nolah to isolate that motion transfer. I think these soft foams do a really good job of kind of dulling that disturbance transferred across the bed. So if you are someone who shares your bed with a restless sleeper, this might be a good choice for you. Now, if you're checking out this review, I'm sure the Nolah Original is not the only mattress you're looking for online, so I want to compare it against some of the other mattresses you might be taking a look at. First up is the Nolah versus the Nectar mattress. The Nectar is also an all-foam bed-in-a-box that uses really thick memory foam layers to provide pressure-relieving comfort. Now, it does have that classic contouring feeling, that sinking into bed, that glove around your body that memory foam is known for. And I do really like the Nectar for the couples out there because it is really good at isolating motion transfer, but I do think the Nolah sleeps just a little bit cooler. Now, in terms of price, the Nectar ranges from $499 up to $999 for the king-size version. Next up is the Nolah Original versus the Nolah Signature mattress. Now, the Signature is also an all-foam bed-in-a-box, but it is a little bit taller, so it gives you a little bit more space to sink into bed. It is technically a flippable mattress, so one side is a firmer option, and the other side a softer. I think most people will prefer the soft side of the Nolah Signature. Now, I was really impressed with the ability of the Nolah Signature to both relieve pressure and isolate motion transfer, so pretty similar to the Nolah Original, but with just a little bit more space, a little bit plusher feel to sink into bed. Now, it is a little bit more expensive than the Nolah Original, ranging in price from $749 up to $1,469 if you use the Sleepopolis discount with the link below. Now, before I end the review, I want to give you some of my pros and cons for the Nolah Original. First up, reasons I would recommend it to you include if you are a side sleeper, it's got a really nice soft feel to it that's going to allow you to sink in for pressure relief. I was impressed with the pressure map portion of the review. We saw low pressure in problem areas such as the shoulders and the hips. So again, if you are a side sleeper, I think the Nolah Original is a good choice. I would also say if you share your bed with a restless sleeper, this is going to help isolate motion transfer a bit better, so you're not going to be woken up during the middle of the night if they start changing positions, getting into and out of bed, anything like that. I would also say that while it does have this kind of memory foam contouring feel, it's a memory foam alternative foam, so it does sleep a bit cooler. I was really happy with the Nolah Original's ability to sleep cool through the night. Now, some of the reasons I would say it's not for you, some of my complaints about the Nolah Original is that it's not great for the stomach sleepers out there. It just has a softer feel to it, so it's not going to have that support you need at the hips to keep your spine aligned in a good position. And I would also say if you're someone looking for a mattress with some really strong bounce, it's got a softer all-foam feel to it, so it's not going to have that spring you might be looking for. You might want to check for something more along the lines of a latex mattress, hybrid, or an inner spring build. Now, if you are interested in purchasing a Nolah Original, I want to give you some basic information on that process. First up, there is a 120-night trial period, so you can have it in your home for about 4 months, setting whether you want to keep it or send it back. It ships for free. It will arrive compressed in a box. You want to let it decompress for a few hours or even overnight before you sleep on it, so you get the full support and feel of the mattress. In terms of a warranty, it comes with a 15-year warranty. You want to check out exactly what that covers on their website, but I would say that's above average. Usually with bed-in-a-box all-foam mattresses, we see a 10-year warranty, so 15-year is definitely a bit longer. And finally, in terms of price, it ranges from $489 up to $994 if you use the Sleepopolis discount with the link below. So that's it for my review of the Nolah Original. If there's anything I didn't cover, just leave a comment below. Now, if your mattress search continues, Google Sleepopolis and best mattress to see my top picks there. Also, be sure to follow us on social media so you don't miss any of our sleep news or our giveaway announcements, and check out sleepopolis.com for all of your sleep needs.